Okay, so thanks everyone for joining this meeting. Today, uh, today, what we will learn in this topic. So, topic is the Salesforce Shield. So, here we will learn a practical also by Chandrika. So, let me tell you about myself. So, my name is Ashish Madhukar. I am a Salesforce integration and Salesforce application development lifecycle architect. So I'm a total 13x Salesforce certified, and also I'm a running YouTube channel SFDC Madhukar in Hindi for Salesforce training. So today our speaker is Chandrika Varsane, and she is the Salesforce developer, and she also 5 years Salesforce certified. She working in a cloud REC software private limited, and she will cover all Salesforce Shield topic today. So she will also show you demo how you can implement and how you can use this Salesforce Shield in your real life project. So Chandrika, do you want to go next? Like,
Yeah. Thank you, Ashish, for inviting me for this session. Uh, I'm thrilled to be here with all of you to share my insights on the Salesforce Shield. This is a very so
do you want to share your
yeah,
screen?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, as Madhuka said, my topic is Salesforce Shield. So, my name is Chandrika Vashne, and I am a Salesforce developer. I am 5x Salesforce certified. In this session, uh, like in this session, we dive into how Salesforce Shield can enhance your data security and meet regulatory requirements. Secondly, we will be having a practical tips on implementing platform encryption and event monitoring. After that, we will be discuss about the real world use cases where shields add value by securing sensitive information. So I look forward to share my knowledge, learning from your questions, and engaging in a meaningful discussions. So let's make this session interactive. So please don't hesitate to ask questions or share your knowledge if you have implemented Salesforce Shield in a real time or so let's so the first, I want to ask a question the guys you have implemented a Salesforce Shield ever? Uh, Ashik, can you give me the idea? Anyone type yes or no?
Yes, yes. It's Meher type yes, and Shivanand and Kalyan is no. So mostly
Okay.
the majority of only few joiner is implemented this Salesforce shield.
Oh, okay, that's great. The like audience have an idea of Salesforce Shield, so it would be great to learn more about the Salesforce Shield. Okay, so let's come to the Salesforce Shield. The Salesforce Shield is a set of security products admins and developers can use to protect business critical apps with enhanced encryption, event monitoring, historical data retention, and the data classification capabilities. The Salesforce Shield also allow to build a new level of trust, transparency, compliance, and governance with a simple point and click tool. The Salesforce, it's like the Salesforce Shield is like an extra layer of the security armor for your Salesforce data. So this tool has a three features in which you can do a platform encryption. In a layman language, you can say locking your data. Second, we have a event monitoring. In a layman language, you can say watching your data. What is happening in your org? You can keep track all the things in your org. Thirdly, we have a field auditing, which means keeping a data history of your all data. Um, like, uh, so who can use this feature? The clients who have a enterprise edition, performance edition, and unlimited edition, they can purchase the Salesforce Shield on a subscription basis. Okay, but for the developer edition, it is available at no charges. So this is a good news for all of you. You can use this and implement and get hands on this tool. Okay, so let's come to the platform encryption. So, like platform encryption, you can set encrypted data permission to protect sensitive data from unauthorized users. Platform encryptions allow you to natively encrypt your most sensitive data at rest across all of your Salesforce apps. So, I have mentioned a word at rest. So, what is a rest? A rest encryption. So, what happens whenever your data is stored at the data centers? So that data would be stored as a ciphertext. Means the person who are working as a database agent at the Salesforce database centers, they wouldn't be able to read your data. Okay, I hope this term is clear to all of you. If you have any question, you can like type in the in the chat. Okay. So the question arises, why platform encryption? Like platform encryption gives you a 256-bit, very high level of encryption available with the Salesforce, that are AES, the Advanced Encryption Standards, which is a very high level encryption available in the Salesforce. And you can encrypt your data as a field level, and you can encrypt your data at rest. You can also like create your encryption policies, and you can also encrypt your files and attachments. You can like there are so many things, so you can encrypt on Salesforce. And you can also manage your own encryption keys. So they are the Salesforce provide three options to manage your encryption keys. Like first is just generate your encryption key. Second, you can bring your own key, and third is you can manage your key outside your Salesforce, like on a third system, that is a AWS, any other systems. Okay. I will talk about more about keys in a Salesforce system itself while I'm performing a demo. So there are the two schemes for the platform encryption. Like we can encrypt our data based on the two schemes. First is a probabilistic encryption. Second is a deterministic encryption. So, like, what happens in a probabilistic encryption? Your source text repeatedly encrypted with the same key will normally yield different ciphertext. And Salesforce by default gives you a probabilistic encryption as Salesforce. If you are applying a probabilistic encryption, then you are not able to put any filter on that field, and it is recommended to use probabilistic encryption whenever data in a field will not need to be filtered. Okay. And in a deterministic encryption, you users unable to filter on encrypted data, and your data would be encrypted on using a static initialization vectors, so that the encrypted data can be matched to a particular field value, and the ciphertext can be repeatedly produced given the same source text and keys. So there are the two cases where the first is deterministic case sensitive and the case insensitive. I will be like covering in a very thorough in Salesforce org. So how to implement Salesforce encryption in your org? Firstly, you have to enable the encryption from the encryption settings. Then you have to create a permission set and just assign a system permission to that permission set, that is a manage encryption keys, and assign this permission set to a user. If when we assign a permission set to a user, then that user would only able to manage the keys to your encrypted data. Okay, so let's jump to the demo for this part. Okay. How I can like come to the another screen?
Which is screen?
Yeah, I just want to switch my screen to the demo org.
Okay, just I think you have shared only your first slide. So just stop sharing and share again
Okay,
entire screen. Then you can switch any
okay.
tab. Yeah. So then it will not. So
So now my screen is stopped.
yes, yes. Now share again, and then you choose this entire screen instead of
Oh,
window or Chrome tab. Okay.
okay,
There are three tab it will show when you click on the share screen. Okay.
okay.
Now,
So now my screen is visible.
yes, yes. Now your Salesforce.
Okay. So to implement the platform encryption, just come to the setup and type here encryption. So here you are seeing the platform encryption settings, encryption statistics, and key management. First, you need to enable this. This is a demo org. So I have already mentioned that the platform encryption is freely available in a developer org. Okay. So when I clicked on the encryption settings, so you need to enable these functionalities like encryption file and attachments, encrypt search indexes, and you also have to enable this functionality, generate initial probabilistic tenant secret. This is enabled because I have previously enabled this. So this time it is not showing me to enable this functionality. Okay, and you also have to enable this functionality, generate initial deterministic tenant secret. Okay, and after that you just need to select the field, on what field you want to try to or apply this encryption. You can do encryption on a standard fields as well as on a custom fields. But there is some limitation, like the fields which are showing on this screen, these fields are only be encrypted. Okay, so when I click on edit, so the encryption functionality would will give you a provision to give a encryption on these fields. So these are the standard fields: account, contact, lead, opportunity, case, and case comments. And like these all the custom like standard field, standard object, and on these thing uh, you have a standard fields. So you can apply encryption as like if I am applying a encryption on a billing address, so it will give you a option like which type of encryption scheme you want to apply, a probabilistic or a deterministic case insensitive or a deterministic case insensitive. Okay, if I apply a probabilistic encryption, so this means you can't use this field in a filter criteria, you can't use this field in a reporting or in a list view filter in a report. If you are using this field in a report, then you can't put a filter on this field. Okay, so and if I applying this on these fields like case sensitive, case insensitive, or case insensitive. Okay, so I have applied this encryption on these fields. If I applied a deterministic case sensitive encryption on a shipping address, means I can use this field in a filter criteria. Okay, there is no such limitation on it. But if I apply a probabilistic encryption, then you can't use this field in a filter criteria. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Okay. So I'm hitting save button. So now my encryption will show in some time. Okay. it will show your data will here the probabilistic encryption or a deterministic encryption. You can also check here. Once you enable the encryption, then when you click on the encryption statistics, then all the information will be popped here. So like on account I have encrypted a four fields, two fields, account name and a description, so it will show all the data here. uh, if you apply a new encryption, then you have to sync it, and here you can gather statistics once every 24 hours, and if you want to sync your data, then it would take a 7 days. Okay, so it will take some time to sync all the data. When you click on the key management, then you can also like create your own keys, generate your tenant secret key here, and you can also bring your own key. So when I create on the generate tenant key, it will create a new key for your data. Okay, and Salesforce gives you a platform where the data will encrypt and decrypt on a native application, so you need not any hardware or software to encrypt or decrypt your data. Okay, and here is some we have a some root key inventory. You can also store this key on your local system as well. You can also download these keys on your system. Once if you just lost your key, then you can download this key on your local system to encrypt or decrypt the data. Okay. As I have showed you the fields, standard fields on which I have applied a encryption, there are some provision you can also like encrypt your custom fields as well. So I'm just showing you how you can apply encryption on a custom fields. So I have a custom object and I'm creating a field. The field type is text. So here you are seeing the option encrypted. When you click on the encrypted, then these three option will show you popped up like use probabilistic encryption, use case sensitive or deterministic encryption, use case insensitive, deterministic encryption. You can select any one of them and click next. So this is how you can apply a encryption on a custom field. Okay. And which custom fields can you encrypt? So you can apply shared platform encryption to the content of the field that belongs to one of the custom field type. First is email, phone, text area long, text area rich, URL, date, and date and time. So these are the custom field types on which you can apply encryption. And else, if you are applying an encryption on a number field and percentage, currency, pick list, or lookup. So, like on this field, the encryption is not possible. Okay. So there is also one limitation. Once you apply a encryption on a custom field, then you can't change the field type of that field. Okay. So these kind of the files are encrypted once you enable the file encryption. You can encrypt the file attached to the emails. You can encrypt the file attached to fields. You can encrypt the file attached to records. You can also encrypt the images included in rich text area fields. You can also encrypt the files on the contents, libraries, and files tabs. Okay. And you can also encrypt the code PDF files. Okay. When you enable the file encryption button, then these functionality would applicable to your Salesforce. Okay. So what kind of files you can't encrypt? The files which are attached in the chatter group photos and chatter profile photos and documents, etc. Okay. And so there is a one also, there's some other limitations also, like you can't encrypt custom fields which are being used in a criteria based sharing rules, or you can't encrypt formula fields as well. If you are enabling the encryption which on the fields which are being used in a criteria based sharing rules, then it will show a message like encryption enablement will fail if a field is already referenced in a custom formula or a duplicate matching rules. Okay. So if you have applied a probabilistic encryption on a field and you are using that field in a duplicate rule or a matching rule, then it would show this error. And if you have applied a deterministic encryption, then it would say to first deactivate the duplicate rule and apply encryption, and after that you have to enable the duplicate rule. So the encryption enablement would work with the deterministic encryption but would not work with the probabilistic encryption. And if you have applied the probabilistic encryption, then you are not able to write a query like aggregation function on a max, min, count, distance, etc. You can't use a where clauses. You can't use that field in a group by or order by clauses. So these are the limitations on applying a platform encryption. I hope it makes sense. So just come to the next point, that is the event monitoring. So event monitoring gives you a access to details, performance, security, and users data on your Salesforce or apps. The event monitoring is like a window that shows all the granular details of the user activity in your organization. We prefer to use user activity as a events which are captured in something called a event logs. So what happens? The event monitoring works like a security camera that watches everything happening inside your Salesforce ecosystem. It tracks the records and activities, user activities, so you can exactly see who did what and when they did it. Okay. You can also keep the track of the user activities, like when someone logs in your Salesforce, and when he logs out, you can also watch which record user have viewed, which report they have downloaded, like all sort of activities you can keep track once you enable the event monitoring in your Salesforce org. So how to implement this event monitoring in your Salesforce org? So for this you have to come to this home and search event. Here the event monitoring setting is there. You have to enable this setting, generate event log files. And I'm not enabling this delete event monitoring data. So once you enable this, all all the data, what sort of activities done by a user, will be tracked in a event log browser. Okay. When I click on a this tab, all the details would be popped here. So you have to what you need to do is you just need to select the start date of the event and end date of the event. And here the event type, you just need to select the what type of event you want to track. So just you need to select all event, and select the interval you want to all all event data for from 6 to say 6 December, or a daily basis, day or a hourly basis. So and in a daily basis you will add, create only a one record there, and on a hourly basis you will get a uh, 24 records. So once I click on a daily, then it is not showing any logs because I have just enabled this. And if you click on the hourly, then it will probably show the 24 records here. Okay, and more, like it is a hourly basis record here. Okay, so after that, the Salesforce also gives you a provision, you can also notify a user whenever a user do any unauthorized activity in your Salesforce org. Then you can also create some transaction policies to keep it very authentic. If a user, I'm a user, you have given a provision to see a report, and I'm frequently browsing that report in a Salesforce, then it will generate a notification to the admin, like this particular user accessing this report, so the admin get notified. Okay, so there are the three condition we can these are the three functionality you can say we can apply. You can block the user, you can notify the admin, and you can also enforce the MFA. Okay, the multi-factor authenticator, once this policy will execute, the MFA will applicable to that user. Okay, after MFA, he has to again log in into the system. Okay, so for this, I'm just clicking on the transaction policy. So I'm just creating a new policy here. So it would give you a two option to create the transaction policy. First is the condition builder, second is the apex. uh, Basically, when your certain criteria or a certain things are not being fulfilled by the custom predefined logics, then you have to go for the customization. So we have a apex functionality here. So I'm just clicking on the condition builder here, and there are the event types on which you can create a policies. So here there are total 13 events on which you can create a transaction policies. And here, I'm just creating a policy on a report event. So you just need to select the condition, like I'm just adding a condition, queried operation. Okay, operation is equals to report export. If any user export a report from my Salesforce org, then what happens? I can uh, I can do nothing. When I click on a nothing, then you just create a notification to the in-app notification or a email notification, or for whom you are notifying. So you can select any user from here. Okay, and you can also block the user. If anybody export the report from your Salesforce org, then you can directly block that user. You can apply a multi-factor authenticator also. Okay, so here I'm selecting a block method. You just need to give a name to this transaction policy. So I'm giving this name, giving a name, report export block user. uh, After that, you have to enable the functionality and finish. So whenever a user export a report from your Salesforce org, then it will definitely block. So I'm just going uh, shield. So I have a user, shield user. Okay, I'm just logging from this user, and I am exporting a report. This is a report, and I am clicking on a export. So here you can see I have blocked this user, access block. The operation you requested isn't allowed due to security policy in your organization. Contact your administrator for more information about the security policies. So this is how event monitoring works. So there's a total 13 events on which you can create your transaction policies to save your data or to keep the track of user activities. Okay, I hope it is clear. So transaction policies. So transaction policies in a Salesforce are a framework that monitors user activity in a real time and takes action based on certain events. So firstly, we have to decide the event. You can create policies to watch for the specific events such as a user exporting larger volumes of data. You can also like give a action. You can choose action to trigger when the event occurs, such as blocking the action, requiring multi-factor authentication, or sending a notification. You can also apply a condition. Each policy has conditions that evaluate events and trigger action when those conditions are met. After that, we have a field audit trail. So I know you all are aware from the field audit trail. So basically, when we are not opting for the Salesforce Shield, the Salesforce itself gives previously gives this functionality. You can set history tracking for a particular object on a particular object. So what happens if when we take the Salesforce Shield, uh, you are able to track more than 60 fields per object. And like in a contract of previously it was you can track only a 20 fields on a standard object, on a custom object. So after in a shield you can track up to the 60 fields. Okay. And after that, the field history tracking data would not be count against your data storage limits. It would be store your data in a big object and archive your data in a big object. You can retrieve your data using a metadata APIs or through REST APIs, SOAP APIs, and tooling APIs. Okay. And you can why do you need data audit trails? So what else gives you a like who it's gives you a uh, like powerful tool. Like you can see who has changed the information, what exactly was changed, and what did this change happen, and what was the old value and what is the new value. So all these things can be tracked by the field audit trail. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you. And you can also keep the history of your data up to 10 years. Previously in a normal Salesforce, if you are not taking a Salesforce Shield, then you are only able to keep your data history up to 8 to 24 months. But after Shield you can have a history of your data up to 10 years. So this is a major difference. I hope it makes sense. So, how to implement Salesforce field audit trail in your org? There are two ways. First is just go to the field history tracking from setup and click on just the object name and select the fields up to 60 and save click. So all the fields on which you have applied field history audit, then all the fields would be the history data would be stored. And secondly way, you just need to go on a object manager, select the object, and select field and relationship. On the on the extreme right, you would be able to see a set history tracking. So on by clicking on it, you would be able to start history tracking of a particular object. Okay. So there are some limitation on a field audit trail. You can't track the formula fields, roll up summary fields, auto number fields, created by fields and last modified date. Okay. Expected revenue fields on the opportunity, master solution titles, and master solution details fields on a solution. You can't also track the long text fields or a multi select fields. Okay, these are some limitations on which you can't set a history tracking. So I hope all the information which I have given you have add some value. So let's, as we wrap up, let's quickly revisit the key takeaways from the today's session. The Salesforce Shield empowers organizations to strengthen their security postures with three powerful features. First is event monitoring for tracking the user activities, platform encryption for data privacy, and field audit trail for regulatory compliances. Together, these tools provide a security to your org. Okay, so I encourage all of you to explore how Salesforce Shield can be tailored to your organization needs. And like you can say, the security is not a luxury and it is a necessary in today's digital age. So Salesforce Shield is here to help you achieve that. So like this is all from today's session, and I would say thank you to all of you. If if you have any question, you can write in the chat box.
Yeah, there are some question
Okay.
already posted, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
take one by one.
Yeah.
Start from top. So there, Mihir have one another first question regarding
Hmm.
any real time scenario when we do not filtration. So this one I have given. Another question he have, like any impact on native integration system like CPQ. For example, we enable this Salesforce Shield, and we enable encrypted some field. So those are field also impact on the CPQ. Like
Okay. So, Meher, any real-time scenario when we do filtration, can you just elaborate this more?
you
And
can.
if you okay, and the next question is any impact on a native integration system like CPQ. Okay, so it would not harm any integration when you apply encryption on a field. So there is no impact on integration. Next question is how field encryption going to help me in future? I mean, what all info I can get, like the field history tracking. Okay, in a field encryption, like the people who are working as your data centers, they would not able to read your data. So you the Salesforce sheet providing you a more authentic or secure platform. So outside the user from the user user who are not authorized to a Salesforce org, they would not able to read your data. There is a real time example for it. You all of are using a WhatsApp app, messaging app. So in a inbox, you are seeing a end-to-end encryption. The end user, like a sender and a receiver, would able to see the messages, but the people who are working at the WhatsApp data center, they would not able to read those messages. Okay, I hope this is the answer to your question. Okay, so there's there is another question, like what all info I get, like the history tracking. No, for the history tracking, you have to enable the history tracking button, so you can track all the old values and new values from a particular object on a particular field basis. So we have restricted on a probabilistic encryption like we can't use in a reporting. Then why Salesforce recommendation is probabilistic encryption? Okay, the Salesforce recommending a probabilistic encryption because every time it is generating a new encryption, a new ciphertext for the source text. So it would be very hard when someone try to track your data or trying to hijack or doing a hijacking on your Salesforce, or then he or she would not able to crack your data. So that's why Salesforce recommend probabilistic encryption. Okay. The next question, uh, Maheshin Ahmed. We have one data type while creating a field text encrypted. We can we use that? Yes, like in a Salesforce doc, I haven't seen this text encrypted. So you can export it by yourself. Just enable the functionality. Okay. Next question: can I download backdated data, or if yes, what is the limitation on it? Backdated data. Uh, like backdated data from what reports and what sort of things you are talking. Mm, Suppose I want to create a policy to notify admin whenever someone export data from API like workbench or a developer console. Will it work? Suppose I want to create a policy to notify admin whenever someone. Yeah, yeah. There are some like you can use. There are some conditions on which you have to put. If a user using a workbench and exporting data, then you can definitely notify admin or block the user as well. There are some sort of settings there. You just need to apply the condition. So it is possible. Yes. Uh, can you tell me something on real-time event monitoring? Yes, sure. So there are some real-time monitoring events. There are total 19 events on which you can there are two functionality you have to enable it. First is uh, enable storing data, and let me show you the real-time monitoring event. So for this you have to come. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes. Vijay.
Okay. So for this, you have to come to the event manager. Here, the total 19 events you can track your real time. So for this, you have to enable these two functions. First is enable streaming and store data. So when you enable these functionalities, then all your real time data would sync or store on a big object. Okay. All sort of activities which are being performed in your system. So these are all 90. And apart from this, okay, I hope this is the answer of to your question about the real time monitoring. So I'm good now after knowing I can't use in reporting. Yes. Okay. What are the security best practices for using RTEM according to you? Okay, best practices. So, Salesforce Shield is a addition or a extra layer of to your security. The first thing I would advise, you should give security on a profile basis. So first you have to secure all the things on a profile basis. If a few things are not applicable on a profile basis or a permission basis, then go to the then opt for the Salesforce Shield. Okay. uh, it would be best if you are facing a cyber crime or cyber attacks or session hijacking, then it is a very best tool to secure your Salesforce org. And for session hijacking, we can create a platform event flow and get notified, right? Yeah, for the session hijacking, there are few events, like you have to know the current IP address of the user and the previous IP address of the users. So on those basis, you can create a condition in a transaction policy. Whenever there are some anomalies happen in your system, then definitely the admin would get notified for it if someone facing a session hijacking. Okay. Back data history field auditing. uh, for the history field auditing, you can keep the track of data like up to 8 to 24 months. And if you apply after shield, then you can get a history of 10 years, up to 10 years. I am unable to real time monitoring tab and shield app in my sandbox. Why? Because your sales for your client has not opt for this functionality. This is the add-on functionality, so your client have to purchase this. But if you are trying it on a developer, or then it is available at free. Which user license do we need for this functionality? The once you opt for the Salesforce Shield, then there is a license Salesforce platform. So, to use this functionality, you have to create a permission set and assign to a user. So you can say this is a license the platform, shield platform. But we have a shield encryption subscription. Okay, so for this, you have to come to the company information, and there you have to sync the data from your production. So if it is available on a production, then the similar things would be pop up on your sandbox as well. So click on the managing license. So click on the manage license. If your client has already purchased, then it would reflect in your sandbox as well. So do try it in your sandbox. Okay, any other questions?
I think Chandrika, you have covered every all the questions from them.
Okay.
Okay. So, team, the best thing here for Salesforce field, before implement, first you need to figure it out what the requirement of your customer first, and what are the sensitive data they are want to protect basically. For example, your customer is a retail or e-commerce. They are providing the services, and if any customer buy the any products, and they are purchasing basically their order, and they are want to save their credit card or debit card details in their system for future use. If when they are logging again on their like portal site, and they don't want to enter their payment method again, so whatever customer credentials like a debit card or credit card or whatever payment method they are using, so their details you don't want to expose to your any of user, like your customer support user or any other user. So you should use Salesforce platform, this shield. And first, if you are enable this Salesforce field, and whatever field you enable to encrypt to don't show any user, so those are fields it will not applicable in you any your report or any SQL query, because this is our encrypted data, and this is a more sensitive data. If we are protecting, then why we are involving this data in report filter and SQL query? And this impact on your native language, for example, as the Mihir asked, like CPQ, any impact. So if you are have in CPQ, like you are using any field for pricing rule, and for any calculation to any dynamic your pricing rule. So in such type of situation, you should not enable this platform, this shell encryption, because if this encrypted, then you cannot apply any this such type of calculation, or this basically any update any calculation on that, because this is encrypted. Mostly the customer requirement, when they are storing customer credit card details, their mobile number, their email, they don't want to expose to anyone. For example, I'm a user of one of company, e-commerce company, and I have worked 1 year with my customer, and I know whatever data they have. So what I can do, I will export those are data, and I can in future, I can open my own company, and I can target those are user what my previous company using. So then what the impact, because you will lose your customer, because some competitor come and they know your customer, whatever customer, your consumer basically. So Salesforce providing, if you don't want to expose your customer data or any sensitive data, for example, name is not sensitive, you can expose, but email ID, mobile number, credit card details, and your address, these are the sensitive data. They can do anything your competitor, because they know your consumer basically. So in this scenario, only we are enabling this Salesforce Shield to protect our customer data. And if any user want to export your data through report, because in report we can export all the data also. But so if someone try to, we can give the view visibility, they can see data, they can check data, but they cannot download data basically. So whenever they try to export any report data or any want to use SQL query, nowadays Salesforce inspector also in a system. So when they are try to export data, so that time you can block them. So also you can send a notification to admin or whatever your IT manager, so they can check like who are trying to export your data basically. So in this scenario only we are using Salesforce field. So yeah, in a Salesforce, like Mihir asked, like we have in Salesforce text encryption field, and then we can use why we are using Salesforce field basically. So this is, we have some limitation on that field. Only 175 character we can encrypt that data, and more than that you cannot encrypt basically. So and also only we can apply the text field, not any other. So if in future required, we need on the mobile or any other kind of data, so you cannot basically encrypt those are data. So that's why we are going to the Salesforce shield. But this Salesforce shield using when we want to, we do not to expose our data to anyone basically. I hope I clear like what the agenda and why we are going to why we build this Salesforce field in our Salesforce to customer. So before building, so everything just clear, and whatever the limitation, whatever the advantage, you first explain your customer, then after cons and pros and cons, you can explain your customer. When a customer is happy, then you can start your this Salesforce shield implementation basically. I hope everyone fine. And anyone have any other question, you can ask me also. Me and Chandrika, everyone, mostly we are active on our LinkedIn, so you can connect with us on LinkedIn also. So also we have our group sales WhatsApp group, so you can join SFDC Madhukar group, or you can join also Salesforce WhatsApp group. You can join us. Okay, so okay, let Chandrika, your LinkedIn link, you are closed or you are still using that? We are not able to find out. So I'm
Yeah,
sharing my LinkedIn link here in chat.
yeah. Right now, my account is not visible on LinkedIn. So what you can say, like you can share my contact details.
Sure, sure.
So, so
Okay,
the
so everyone, the Chandrika and me, and also in our WhatsApp group, SFDC Madhukar, you can join in our WhatsApp group, or you in a meeting channel. We have shared our WhatsApp group link of just like Varanasi group channel. You can join that one. So where I'm and Chandrika also there already. So you can ping in a group, and there are a lot of users. So if anyone know the answer, they can also give the answer. Okay, everyone. So let's meet then another meeting also in future. Thanks, Chandrika, for giving time to the Trailblazer and share your knowledge with us. And it's very interactive session, and it's very knowledgeable also.
thank you, Madhukar. Thank you, all of you who has just patiently listened to me and ask questions which are so meaningful to me, and absolutely these questions enhancing my knowledge. So thank you, audience. You have supported me a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.